Well, so we have to do the newspapers, and look, we have Mamavi also here, so we're sandwiching the streaming gentleman, Kojo Yankson, the Kojo Yankson. Kojo, okay, so Kojo, Mamavi is doing Ghanaian Times, no, Daily Graphic and New Crusading Guide. Don't worry, call it, chill it. You are doing Ghanaian Times, the new publisher, and then let me see which one I want to give you. I'm controlling the show. You do the Insight. Have you ever done the Insight before? Yeah, I think so.
Why not? It's always the first time.
Yeah, no, on radio you do that all the time. So you do Ghanaian Times, a new publisher, and the Insight. All right.
Have you finished sharing?
Okay.
Can I say hi to Kojo?
Kojo.
Hey, Mama Beezy.
Yo, baby.
I miss you, Papa.
Good for you. Where's your cup of coffee or tea or whatever you're drinking?
It's right here.
You see, you know? That's the thing when you work from home, you get a cup of coffee, and we get nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that almost like an cow?
Okay, guys, let's straight away dig into the newspapers. But it's good you're back and well with us, Kojo.
Yes, I was a bit ill for a couple of days last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, this week I'm completely fine.
Yeah, nice. All right, so should I start with the Daily Graphic?
Yeah, do start.
All right, front page of the Daily Graphic, here we go. Lifting of movement restrictions for groups. 2 views all captured in the graphic today. Gexim Bank investment enhances COVID-19 fight, according to the CEO. And those of you who say you see the NCCE doing rather very little in educating Ghanaians on COVID, well, the boss, Josephine Nkrumah, says we're working hard to educate Ghanaians. That story is in the paper today in the center spread. President meets Council of State at Jubilee House. Traders call on assemblies to enforce safety protocols on COVID-19. Government donates to traditional councils in Accra. Finally, on the back page of the paper, National Blood Service begins donation exercise in Tema. And bury your dead within 1 month. Osajifo Mwetio for repaying issues that directive to dead relatives in his traditional area. Is an ultimatum to help decongest the morgues, which are fast filling up as families wait to bury their loved ones after the ban on public gatherings, which was imposed by the president. Should I continue with the next paper?
Yeah, you continue with the Crusading Guide.
All right, so here's the new Crusading Guide newspaper on the front page. President awaits, is it COVID advice? On timeliness for reopening of churches. Is the Council of States advice on timeliness for reopening of churches and schools. COA FS fights FDA, insists products not contaminated. Now, that's a wrong move. When I saw that statement yesterday, the company issuing that statement, you don't fight the regulator the way that you seem to be doing it. It doesn't work like that. You can't take your own samples and test. By what parameters? How many of the samples did you test, representing what quantities making up what? I think you should chill. Pantai demolition arrests Sarah.
I clearly disagree.
Kojo, we will talk about that. You have something to say on that, right?
Yeah, we're talking a bit.
Okay, yeah. 3.4 billion Kumewu DVLA office projects. We have been shortchanged, according to Kumewu citizens as well. And I was talking about the Pantine demolitions. Arrest Sarah Foko, landowners tells the IGP. John Kuma donates PPEs to frontline workers in Ejiso. So that's how the front page of the new Crusading Guide looks like. Over to you, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you. Who's going next? Is it me?
I think so. You're in the middle.
All right. So I'm doing the Ghanaian Times, the Daily Guide and the Insight.
Yes.
Okay, then. So Ghanaian Times, banner headline, no COVID-19 deaths in Ghana, President affirms. Also, government backs local face mask production. Osebonsu before court over forgery and fake NEIP beneficiaries list. Ooh, shocking. And FDA claim against COA FS untrue. COA, what does that say? Herbal Center. Yeah, so that's the Ghanaian Times front page. Let me tell you about the back page, where Vivo donates 6,500 PPE to support government's fight against coronavirus. Also, the former president gives 40 sets of PPE to Keta Municipal Hospital. And in the center, I've got a sideways shot of the center spread, so forgive me as I turn my head sideways to read it. No COVID-19 deaths in Ghana, President affirms. That's the story from the front page. But also, President swears in Dr. Okoboy as Deputy Minister of Health. That's congratulations to Dr. Okoboy on that. He's a friend of the show. We can't wait to have him come and answer some of our questions. Now, government backs local mass face mask production. That's also from the front page. FDA's claim is also there from the front page. So all the details of those front page stories available in the center. Let's do the Daily Guide real quick. Ex-tour boss bribe scandal unmasked, according to the Daily Guide's banner headline. Face masks guidelines coming. Confusion over food supplement. 6 fresh COVID-19 cases hit Ashanti. NDC two-faced in COVID-19 lockdown. This is the sort of thing that I was talking about in the message of motivation this morning. Anyway, let's flip the paper over. On the back this morning, Frank Achampon steps up training. GFA eyes expatriate technical director. COVID-19, Arsenal takes pay cut. Dog bites Man U players. Hey, how did that happen? And that does it for the Daily Guide. Let me end. Let's have a look at what's in the center. Nollywood actor praises Akufo-Addo for lifting lockdown. Sarkodie stuck in USA begs Akufo-Addo. Miss Ghana 2020 goes virtual. That'll be fascinating. They're going to do the whole contest online. No dividend payments, Bank of Ghana directs banks. U.S. oil prices fall back below zero. Shippers Authority assists Ridge and Tema hospitals. And instant pay use soar in first quarter. I think we all know why. The insight next. Ablakwa jabs Akufo-Addo, says president chose politics over science in lifting lockdown. Here we go again. Ghana advises EC against new register. And Solomon Owusu descends on EC. Also, Gabi says president's reckless on lockdown. Sorry, forgive me. Let me read that again. Gabi says president's decision on lockdown based on science, but security analyst disagrees. That does it for me.
Let me do the Daily Post. The Daily Post has on the front page, Mahama rescues Keta Hospital. Government delays in updating coronavirus figures, creating mistrust, according to the CDD. That's what the paper says. And Ghana drops 3 places on latest press freedom index. It has a picture of investigative journalists. The late Ahmed Swale. On the back page of the same paper, you'll find all the pictures, Mahama donating to the Keta Hospital. And all the pictures in real time as well. Yeah, so you get to find them on the back page of the Daily Post. Let's go to the last paper, the Business and Financial Times. They continue with their coronavirus-related economic stories, says impact on the economy and business. It's well captured. Front page of the Business and Financial Times. Coronavirus erodes cities' gains. It tells you where we are currently, and despite all the gains made by the local currency against its major trading currencies, especially the US, the pandemic has washed all of it away, causing the city to lose its strength. Yeah. And then we also have same front page, our product is not contaminated. COA FS, they're dominating the front pages this morning. They are questioning the FDA's motive after an earlier approving drug for 2020, or after earlier approving the same drug for 2020. Now, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, though, eyes export boost post-COVID-19, and online export education is expected to begin in the process. Indeed, there's a lot of education ongoing. We also do have a story about celebrate recovered patients, stigmatization is needed. Now let's go to the back page. It's the last section we're looking for. The Business and Financial Times. It says AFTA, and that is the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, must start July. Somebody who knows very well, also a lawyer as well, of Ofusudote, stating that that's a legal policy and transactions specialist, David of Ofusudote. All right. Well, anything we want to take a look at? So many things to talk about. Dominating.
Story. And you know, I like what Mama V said at the beginning, you know, that this is your regulator. So, you know, give it a minute of thought before you determine how you want to respond to them. But their response in itself, I'm wondering what's going on there. I mean, so what they're telling us is that they have gone to do their own test. After the regulator tested the products, a certain batch of the products, and said that they are contaminated with E. coli, they then went to do their own tests at University of Cape Coast. And their tests say that the product is not contaminated. So based on that, customers should do what? Should they come and buy in spite of the FDA's recall? I wonder what they are seeking to achieve here. It seems more like a public relations stunt. You know, they are trying the matter in the court of public opinion. So they want the public to believe that what they are being told may not necessarily be true. What they are being told by the regulator may not necessarily be true. That is really the whole point of going to test the product themselves. If really people were supposed to test product themselves and then come and inform the public whether it's safe or not, and then we all go and buy based on what they tell us, where would the safety be? But you see, they are feeding into conspiracy theories. There are some people who, theories. There are some people who believe that COA-FS is completely safe. So they are wondering how something that has already been approved by the FDA, now FDA is telling them that it's not safe. So they are feeding into that, uncertainty by going to do their own tests. I think but you also have to ask yourself, FDA, why would they lie? Like, what are they also trying to achieve if they are lying? You know?
We all have to give this a minute. Let's see what comes out, in the end. But we've run out of time, unfortunately. Can we do Match Online just for some 30 seconds, just to look at what's on the page? All right, so obviously this is what is dominating. Government projects 15,000 coronavirus deaths in Ghana, coming out of PM Express. Advice on health to the president, Dr. Nsiasari, there, making lots of revelations and explaining the science behind the lifting of the lockdown. Lots of other stories on myjoyonline.com. Maybe another 30 seconds on the BBC. Patrick Gomez, our director. Okay, we're done. It looks like that's all we can do.
We have 30 seconds for BBC, he said.
Okay, yeah, so please go for it.
Yeah. So we have all the Africa Live updates, and this is South Africa unveils $26 billion COVID-19 relief package.
When you're big, you do big things. But there's also one of the other stories you find on the page. This one, South Africa's alcohol ban working, is a question because going along with the restrictions towards, halting the spread of coronavirus, they decided to ban alcohol. The whole intention: ban all booze, and you prevent drunken fights, reduce domestic violence, stop drunk driving, and eliminate, the whole weekend drinking. They've done that, almost halved it, 12,000, because they were recording like 34,000 who would have been in the hospitals. You can just go on these sites and read the stories for yourself. We'll have to bring you sport up next, unfortunately. That's all for the review.